Jewish woman attacked outside parliament. In a disturbing turn of events, a senior Jewish woman was violently assaulted last Friday, 27 September, by an aggressive group of pro-Palestinian protesters right outside South Africa's parliament. For safety reasons, the identity of the Jewish woman remains undisclosed. The incident unfolded in the morning as the Jewish woman arrived to join her Christian Zionist friends who, for the past 25 years, have gathered every Friday to sing songs and pray for peace in the Middle East. Carrying her Israeli flag as a symbol of solidarity, she quickly became the target of the enraged pro-Palestinian group. Eyewitnesses relate that the group aggressively attacked the woman, grabbing her flag and injuring her hands in the process. The flag was forcibly taken from her and destroyed. As tensions escalated, the protesters began to verbally assault her with vile anti-Semitic slurs, including a reprehensible remark. Jews must go away. Jews must all die. Pity that they didn't finish Jews off in Europe. Despite the onslaught, the Jewish woman remained composed, repeatedly asserting, "You can wave your flag and I can wave my flag." However, the aggression did not cease as the group followed her, jabbing at her with their flag sticks. They snatched another Israeli flag from her, setting it ablaze. Fortunately, a member of the parliament precinct intervened, halting the assault and recovering the burnt remains of the flag. The Jewish woman sustained lacerations of her hands and bruising to her face. A case of assault has been filed with the South African Police Service SAPS. This attack is not an isolated incident. The previous week, the same aggressive group targeted an elderly Christian man in a similar manner, seizing his Israeli flag, slapping him in the face, and kicking him in the stomach. He also plans to file a case with SAPS with video evidence corroborating the incident. The Cape South African Jewish Board of Deputies, SAGBD, has strongly condemned the violent actions. Injuring Jacobson, chairperson of the Cape SAGBD, stated, "We condemn in the strongest terms a deviation from a South African ethos of peaceful protest into a physical and verbal assault by certain pro-Palestinian groups. Freedom of expression is a constitutionally enshrined right on every South African, and for these groups to deny individuals these rights and compound this by committing criminal acts is unacceptable." The Cape SAGBD has enraged with both SAPS and the City of Cape Town to ensure that these violent acts do not recur and call upon government leaders, including the ANC, to condemn such violence against their fellow citizens. Jacobson emphasized, "We may have differing opinions about the war in the Middle East. However, it does not validate or justify the use of hate speech and violence." Adrian Jacobson, chairperson, Cape SAGBD. The views expressed here are not necessarily those of independent media. By Cape Argus, do you have something on your mind or want to comment on these big stories of the day? We would love to hear from you. Please send your letter to arglet@inl.co.za, or letters to be considered for publication must contain full names, addresses, and contact details, in the brackets, not for publication. On the other hand, the Breli Turk, the enduring cultural bond of Turkic and African traditions. In an age where boundaries often feel insurmountable, literature serves as a bridge, inviting readers to traverse vast historical and cultural landscapes. This was evident last week as I delved into The Burly Turk, authored by Jeremy James. The narrative chronicles the remarkable journey of a host tracing its path through the Ottoman Empire, the staunch battlefield of Europe, and the bustling streets of London. Yet, woven within these pages are themes that resonate profoundly across cultures, particularly the Turkish phrase at afrat pusat, literally translating to horse, woman, weapon. This phrase embodied the essential elements of Turkish life, signifying values deeply entrenched within the culture fabric of the Turkic peoples. It harkens back to a time of nomadic existence where the horse was not merely a companion but a vital instrument for survival and a manifestation of power and mobility. The Turkish warrior's bond with his horse is emblematic of mutual respect and loyalty, a relationship cultivated through independence and strength that lies at the heart of the Turkic ethos. However, the narrative does not cease at the borders of Turkey. In many African cultures, similar themes are echoed, illustrating a shared human experience that transcends geographical confines. The horse, revered among groups such as the Fulani and Tuareg, is the potent symbol of status and power. African horsemen, akin to their Turkic counterparts, have historically assumed the role of community protesters, their steeds essential not only for sustenance in warfare but also for ceremonial rites. The second component of the triad, Afrat, refers to the archetypal figure of a woman, a pillar of strength and sustenance within the family unit. Turkish tradition positions women as the backbone of the households, entrusted with nurturing children and ensuring the lineage continues. The notion finds its parallel in many African societies where women are equally indispensable, maintaining families and community cohesion through their unwavering spirit and resilience. Lastly, the pusat, or weapon, signifies the inherent duty to defend one's family, homeland, and honor. It represents courage and steadfastness against adversity, often held in the reverent esteem. Through generations, weapons became symbols of legacy and protectors of identity, from Maasai warriors in East Africa, whose martial culture revolves around rigorous training for community defense, to the renowned Zulu warriors under King Shaka, famed for their military prowess tied intricately to their weapons. The convergence of these themes underscores a rich cultural resonance, illuminating shared values that bind Turkish tradition and African heritage together. The phrase at Afrat Pusat is not merely a reflection of Turkic ideals, but serves as a window into the myriad ways humanity connects through shared experiences and values. As we seek to understand our distinct yet intertwined narratives, the Barely Turk stands as a statement to how stories can unite diverse cultures under a common banner, reaffirming the significance of horse, woman, and weapon as emblematic of human experience. In this interconnected world, celebrating such shared heritage promises not only mutual respect but also a deeper appreciation of our collective journey through time. Halim Cenkulu is a historian with PhD from UCT and is a postdoctoral fellow at Wits University. The views expressed here are not necessarily those of independent media. On the other hand, why is Joe Biden not doing anything to stop these wars? Last Friday, when a defiant Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the United Nations, he warned Iran and the Middle East that there would be further attacks if provoked. There is no place in Iran that the long arm of Israel cannot reach, and that includes all the Middle East. That was the chilling warning. Hours later, the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, was dead. Nasrallah led the Lebanese Islamist militant organization for 32 years, wreaking havoc in Lebanon and wielding more power than the government. I spent an entire Sunday watching documentaries trying to understand this original conflict in the Middle East, and I have found a common denominator is Israel's occupation of Palestine. Hezbollah has joined the fray since Hamas attacked Israel on October 7, 2023. Since then, Israel's retaliation has seen over 40,000 Palestinians perish, mainly women and children. The small Jewish nation with big allies has turned into a treacherous killing machine. Hezbollah expanded its influence in southern Lebanon after driving out Israel, who had occupied the territory for 18 years. But now Lebanon is on the brink of collapse and thousands are fleeing in their droves. The death roll is upwards of 600 since the weekend of climbing. Hezbollah is alleged to run their organization smarter than the Italian mafia, with massive networks all over Europe, according to the American DEA. They are at the forefront of arms and cocaine trafficking. The Houthis, a separate group from Yemen, supports Hezbollah. But why can't America and the rest of the alliance partners stop these wars? Bill Clinton did it with the Oslo Accord when he brought PLO leader Yasser Arafat and Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin together, albeit for a brief spell. Ronald Reagan put a dead stop to Israel attacking the PLO in southern Lebanon in 1982 with a phone call to the then Prime Minister. Barack Obama did it twice in Gaza. Why is Joe Biden not do anything to stop these wars that are driving modern civilization to the brink of Armageddon? The Lebanese foreign minister says only Joe Biden can bring them salvation. But at what price to America, I ask? Peace is not attainable because war is too profitable in all spheres. The political mallard Donald Trump and possible future president of the USA constantly quotes about World War III. Could this be the start of the beginning of the end? By Kevin Govender in Durban. The views expressed here are not necessarily those of independent media. And that's it from Egypt, Africa. Stay tuned to our USA and political updates.